Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back. Sometimes you see headlines or a story, and with so much fake news going around and disinformation and just crazy crap in general, you see a headline, you think maybe it's from the old Onion. Remember the old Onion from years ago? Or today's Babylon Bee, which are satire sites that put up fake headlines for fun that are outrageous, can never be true, just funny. But here we are. And I want to say up front, this isn't really chastisement. It's just pointing out a prevalent fact. You Biden voters, this is what you voted for. Trump, not even believable that Biden administration considering paying $450,000 for families separated at the border. Trump accuses other nations of emptying their prisons in America. Now, former President Donald Trump said Friday, it's not even believable that President Biden's administration is debating $450,000 in payments per person to migrants who are separated from their families at the southern border. So that means then they broke the law, period. There's no question about it. Several federal laws by crossing into the country unlawfully. So that means if someone goes to prison for breaking the law or jail, that's separating a family. They get to sue too? This is insane. Trump's remarks came in response to a report from the Wall Street Journal during his appearance on the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show. And it shows Trump there his last few days in office, January 12th of this year. One of the things we're doing is, separation, which was done before us, Trump said. When people heard that, they didn't come because if a parent fears they're going to be separated, they didn't come. Because if you can get in the country, they believe they can stay here, and it's true. They lie and have NGO lawyers for free, coach them on what to say on applications. For those of you who don't know out there, seeking asylum in the United States because of the economic problems in the country you came from is not a reason for asylum. So they lie and say their lives are in danger if they go back, and they coach. They know exactly what to say and do to skirt around the system. Now, those laws, of course, seem tough when you read them, but both sides of the aisle, Republicans voted for these laws too, and they knew there were holes all over them. And what that does, it hurts low-income people and non-white low-income people disproportionately. Why? Flooding cheap labor into the country to undermine low-income people. What a good idea. Screwing American citizens. And they knew that, of course. In the big corporations and big businesses, they gave money to congressional people. Knew that too. The Journal's report states that payments of around $450,000 a person in compensation could be used to migrants affected by Trump's zero-tolerance immigration policy in an effort to resolve lawsuits filed by parents and children who said the government subjected them to lasting psychological trauma. Well, normally I talk with a low voice. Are you effing kidding me? You know what this is, really? Well, we were originally going to give $450,000. We'll bring it down to $100,000 apiece. I struggled in the past to pay taxes, both local, federal, and state, as a businessman for over 20 years. And you can break the law, and when you're arrested or put in detention by federal officials, you're going to get almost $500,000 offered. These people are out of their minds. Out of their minds. No country can sustain what's happening to our country, Trump said, touting immigration court battles his administration has successfully won while noting his work with the Mexican government to prevent the flow of migrants to America. Isn't that interesting? Just a couple days ago, it showed a new caravan, whatever you want to call it, plowing through Mexican authorities. It's funny they didn't plow through Mexican authorities when Trump was president. Trump said other countries are emptying their prisons in the United States, claiming that America has become a dumping ground. In some ways, that's true. Former Vice President Mike Pence also spoke out at the Journal's report, saying it was totally unacceptable. That the Biden administration would consider making those payments to migrants, which, according to the Journal sources, could total hundreds of millions of dollars. Members of Congress, including Ben Crenshaw and Jim Jordan, have slammed the administration for its efforts. Are you out of your mind? I mean, you should be in jail for child abuse, for bringing a minor across the border through the desert at night, putting yourself and your child at risk. And we all know what happens to the younger girls, especially if they're separated, what happens to them. They get trafficked. I can't go into details, of course. The algorithm will pick it up. The parent that came across were mostly Mexican or South American, should be in jail for child abuse. And the child should be turned over to the Mexican authorities or whatever country she's from, or he. They're going to pay them almost $500,000 at least. That's the offering. Why? Because they're suing? They got the, I'm going to talk plain English here. They got the balls to sue? What the hell is going on? How far have we fallen? Will the progressive Democrats go to no lengths to undermine and destroy the foundations of this country? All for power and control. They will burn the whole place down. They're offering them almost $500,000 each. I saw this, I flipped. And I'll tell you the truth, honestly, this so-called migrant immigration is a trigger for me, always has been. My father's parents were off the boat Italians, as they call it. They were immigrants as well, and they came here legally. And in fact, when you sent for somebody, in this case Italy, my family, say, brought a cousin or an uncle over, immigration used to come to the house to see where they were going to live, to see where they're going to sleep, to see if the people in the household had enough money to support that person in case they couldn't find a job. And they wouldn't be a burden on the taxpayers. What the hell has happened? They're going to pay them now for breaking our laws? You people that voted for Biden, look at what you did. I'm not going to be so soft-spoken to you anymore, at least for this episode. You caused this. All because you hated Donald Trump. You screwed us all. And they're destroying the foundations in this country. Why? Because he tweets too much and he acts like an ass sometimes? My God, my God. Most great nations won't, most great civilizations aren't. They don't fall from outside forces. They fall from inside forces. And you mental pygmies that voted for Biden without thinking and using raw emotion, you caused this. End of rant. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.